All right. So we're doing this report live, okay? Because frankly, because of the limitations and some of the technical challenges here in a remote location, I don't have an option. It's a little bit scary for me, Terra Lumination, doing these reports live, because normally I have a very tight, contained way of doing the reports. But if we tried to do them the way I used to do them, then it would take 5-6 hours to load one video. So we have to do it live, because when we do it live, it streams direct into YouTube. So there we go, just letting you know. I won't have a chance to pay too much attention to the chat. I know you guys like to show up now and again. So we'll just get right on into it. Greetings, greetings. This is Terra Lumination, and this is your Cancerian report for your Cancers for the March 2019 love and relationship. Okay? It's kind of generic, and we can't cover absolutely every Cancerian person on the planet, but we'll do what we can. Check out for Sun, Moon, and Rising. You guys know the drill already. A lot of you have been here before anyway, so that's cool. And make the best of it, okay? Also, please understand that the Astrodoodles, I'm not going to put a lot of focus on it. I'm going to show this to you here as a reference so that you know it's there. But there's actually a separate playlist for you just for the Astrodoodles, all right? So I'd like you to check that out, because that will add certain depth and substance and perspective to this little report here that you would not get otherwise. Otherwise, these videos would be so long you'd just like fall asleep. So next thing I want to point out is personal readings. If you need to get into that, check the links below. If you're interested in supporting the channel properly, the best way to say thank you is, you know, because we put the content out there for free, essentially. But I love doing this for you guys, otherwise I wouldn't be doing it. But it really helps if you can become a member. There are member benefits. Please check the links below, and you'll see when you actually go there. I don't want to spend a lot of time explaining it now, but you'll see it. Check the links below. Lastly, if you want to donate, that's fantastic. Check the links below. There is a place. Also, you can do it directly through Super Chat, so that's all good too. I have no idea who's here tonight and watching. Maybe I'll catch a glimpse now and again. Hello, whoever you are. Thank you for showing up. We'll do the best we can. All right, so let's put this aside and get straight on with your report. Okay, Cancerians? Even if you're not Cancerian and you just want to hang out here for fun, you can do that too. First of all, I'm going to show you the Astrodoodle itself. This is it. A couple of hot spots. Obviously, Pluto and Saturn still sitting there in your 7th house. Sweet spot. Pisces new moon up here. Potentially exciting disruptives over here with the Uranus thing, and the full moon. That's definitely going to be challenging. Okay, so let's just establish that as a fact. Let's just say interesting. How about that? Okay. Anyway, let's get on with it. Cards are already well shuffled in advance, and I'm going to show you something else in a moment too, so we have better clarity. First of all, let me just shuffle things up, and then I'll get into like a little visual explanation of the spread itself. This is the Terra Lumination Crucible spread that we're going to use here, because, I don't know, I like it. It works really well for the purposes of Terra Lumination readings. There's plenty other ways that other channels read and everything, and that's fine, but we do it this way here, and I'll explain in a moment. Cards are already well shuffled. I have to say I'm using the most basic deck that I have, because I need a sense of stability and security right now, being in remote locations with very challenging technology things going on, and it just gives me a sense of peace of mind to do it this way for you guys. So please allow for that. No jumpers, no pliers, no oracles, no reversals. We can get into that a lot if you go personal and you want things like that. But for now, we're just keeping it down to the basics. Now, let me show you what I mean by basics. Hold on. Stay there. Don't go away. This is it. This is what I mean. This is my little illustration of the Terra Lumination Crucible spread. The crucible, a crucible is a bowl. It is a type of bowl that they use in science experiments. It's designed to withstand intense pressures of alchemical reactions, which is exactly what happens in human relationships, okay? But it's invisible. You can't see it, but it is there. Most people obviously relate like this: self to other and other to self, in a more or less automatic action-reaction manner that's common to all of us. But when we get deep into the relationship dynamics, we understand there's a whole vast world that could be considered in the invisible realm. So, but it does exist. So when we do the spread, we consider you, we consider the other, deep inside of you, deep inside of the other, and then the core, the relationship itself. And the relationship has its own identity structure, just like it has its own astrology chart, okay? And from there, if you think of this as a living thing, a pulsing thing that is always in a state of alchemical reaction, as we intimate and we separate, and as we intimate and separate, as we do in all relationships, then what is it that is being grown here? What are you fostering, okay? What is consciously or unconsciously, okay? Either way, it is energy. It's a pulsing living thing. You guys in a very conscious relationship would be aware of this dynamic, and you would deliberately place yourself into the crucible and do the work, okay? All decisions would be made in the context of the crucible and the understanding of the relationship, as opposed to self to other and other to self. Also, another point, this is not a couple's reading. It's all about you, Cancer, and we're allowing for another character in the story. Also for singles, if you really want to, you can use this and reinterpret this reading for the potential of a significant other, because you, dear Cancerian, you're always radiating energy anyway, transmitting and radiating just like a smartphone. And if you're not deeply into a significant relationship at this moment, you're still pulsing and radiating, so you could consider the energy of the other as what if, okay? So please allow for that. Also, if you look at the energies out here, remember, your whole relationship is a pulsing living thing, and your relationship is transmitting and receiving energy. Simultaneously, your relationship receives and is impacted by external energies, which could be friends, family, jobs, career, health, finances, anything that's out there that you feel would come into you and your relationship, okay? So I'm hoping this makes sense. Let's get on with the show. Well, it's not really a show, it's a report, but we're doing it live, so it's really more like a show, okay? So let's just get on with it here, okay? So I'm going to shuffle to the very, very last second so that you're a witness. Thank you for your patience to getting to this far in the reading. And we'll go for it from here. Cards are nicely shuffled, nice and clear, so that's good. We're ready to go. Let's cut it up. Bless you, dear Cancers, for being here, and anyone else who's here who's not Cancerian. It's just for fun, you know, consider it as entertainment or a matter of curiosity. Okay, so bless the deck, bless every single card, bless you, dear Cancer, bless the cameras and the lights and the computers and the internet, Tarot Lumination, the whole platform that now allows us to do this at all. Here you go. This is you, okay? What are you pulsing? What are you radiating? What are you receiving? Think of yourself like a smartphone. Over here, what about the other? What about here, deeper inside of you, deeper inside the other, and to the core, the relationship itself, okay? So let's do this. I'm just trying to create the look of the crucible here. Can you see that? This is the crucible. This is the bowl structure in which the relationship exists, okay? It's a living, breathing thing, and it has stories and energies coming to it, almost like watching a movie. I feel my job is to observe the movie as it unfolds and transcribe and do the subtitles for you so that it has some meaning. What are we fostering here? And what is the circumstantial energy out there that is influencing things or being reflected back to you from the energy that you radiate outwards? So we're starting with the Six of Pentacles. So to me, this is very comforting, dear Cancers. This makes me feel like you're in a state of really like acute awareness about the matter, the physical matter of your relationship. A relationship has substance, okay? And in a love and relationship reading especially, I often like to think of the pentacles as valuable tokens, very valuable tokens of love that are expendable. Are you going to squander these? Are you going to invest these? Are you going to bury them and hide them? Are you going to fertilize them and grow them? So with the Six of Pentacles here, my feeling is that you, Cancer, in the context of this relationship, are going through a period where you're doing like a deep appraisal about what's actually happening, like in the hard nuts and bolts of relationship dynamics. What are you putting into the relationship? What is all the work that you are doing? What is the other doing in the relationship? What is all the work that they are doing? And in the reciprocal, in what ways are you benefiting from the relationship? In what ways are they benefiting from the relationship? And so it becomes a very harmonious, balanced thing where I feel like you are witnessing what actually happens in a conscious relationship where both parties are continuously investing and kindly giving, generously giving of self to other and other to self, and in so doing enjoying the fruits of this generosity. So in other words, it's like you, Cancerian, are observing how beneficial it is to invest in a loving relationship and see what comes back to you. And for the other, they are seeing exactly the same thing for themselves. Like, wow, this is so cool. I invest in the love, I invest in the relationship, and I see the benefits that come back to me. So it becomes a mutual win-win situation when both parties are kind and generous and respond to each other's needs with evidence of love, and in the form of love is as love does, where you're deliberately extending yourself above and beyond your comfort zone in order to foster and nurture the spiritual growth and healing of yourself and your loved one, and vice versa. They're doing the same with you. Then you get to experience the energy of kindness, the energy of generosity, and how incredibly important and valuable that is in the context of a relationship. In other words, if you're having a rough time, they've got your back. If they're having a rough time, you've got their back, okay? And it's mutual. Let's have a look. What are you radiating here? Wow, this is exciting. I've got the Two of Wands here. My feeling is that, again, in the energy of appraisal and reevaluation of new horizons for you, my feeling is that you're doing a lot of pondering, a lot of wandering, a lot of like planning, the kind of planning that I would sense that someone makes at the beginning or the early stages of a big adventure. Just like you're going on an expedition, but you're going on an expedition with each other, and you have to take care of your part and do your parts and your plannings and start to lay out a, let's say, sketch out a map. Like, when people go on adventures and they either don't know a lot about what they're doing or where they're going, they collect some raw information that they need to, and then eventually they just dive in, because the reality is they've never done it before, and that's the whole point. They're going into the unknown, into a new future, into a new adventure in ways that's never happened before, and it requires being extremely open-minded and ready to just jump in and have fun and just go for it, go wild. Sometimes it's going to be scary, sometimes it's going to be very satisfying. Think of it as almost like going on a big camping trip, okay? That's what I'm feeling here for you, Cancers. Of course, it could be a little more profound and serious than that. You might be thinking like, oh, what does my future hold for me? And maybe this has more of an energy of a big question mark, okay? But either way, it's very much about a future unfolding for you in very deep, profound, serious ways that are beginning to show material substance, physical substance at the very, very early stages. What it looks like when you invest in a relationship, they invest in a relationship, and you see it as an adventure. Remember, this is not a couples reading. It's all about you, Cancer. We're allowing for the other character in the story here. What are they radiating? Okay, look at this. More pentacles. to me, this is very encouraging for you, Cancer, in that you are relating with someone who is on your wavelength and who, again, it's almost like is validating you and your own perspective and your own storyline that you are sharing with them. For example, Cancer, if you are sharing storylines and ideas about, like, how do you think we should do this? Like, you know, this, I feel like I've got this new life unfolding in front of me, and I can see it, I can see the vision, I can see the journey. I don't exactly know the details, but I know I have to do this. I'm heading in that direction. I'm going to go for it. And I'd love to know that you're there. And they kind of go, oh yeah, I'm right there. I am Team Cancer with you. And I am ready to be at your side and help you to figure out what you got to figure out to be you. And I know you're going to be there to help me figure out what I have to do to be me. And it's a team effort. I can't do this without you. You can't do this without me. Hey, wait a minute. That was my line. I was just going to say that to you. Ha ha. Cool, man. Gotcha. Gotcha. Ha 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 ha. So that's kind of good. I see that. With the Pentacles here, I see this again is more awareness, deep awareness in the significant other, that there's something very valuable happening here, and it is in a team effort. It is in the context of teamwork. You guys as a team. Sometimes you, Cancer, would take the lead in the journey while they go back and do some planning and stuff behind the scenes, and then you can swap out and say, listen, you know what? Can you take the lead for a while? I got to do some groundwork on myself. I need time out, nap time, meditation stuff. And you take the lead, okay? Okay, I got it. Can you get me the plans? Can you sketch out things like what you've already figured out? Oh, sure, I can handle that. Don't worry. And by the way, when I get back from my nap, can you give me the notes for going forward for the next step? Oh, sure, don't worry. I'm already on top of that. Don't worry, I got it. We got this. Mwah, mwah. Don't worry, man. Woman, whatever. Sorry. I don't know. You know, when I do these things, it's like watching a Netflix movie for me. I keep saying that over and over again, but I can't help it. And it becomes very visual, very vivid. Like somebody just switched on a movie and kerblam, I'm swimming in it with the middle of you, in the middle of it with you guys. Let's have a look over here, deep down inside of you. Yeah! Look at this. So forget the gender. Queen of Wands, to me here in this story, it represents the energy that deep down inside of you, you are glowing. You are literally starting to glow like a delicious, rich ember at the gut level, like deep, deep in your guts as a physical human being, where you're starting to see like glimpses of the vision, your own vision, the vision of a relationship, the combined vision of you with a significant other, and the significant other with you, and their combined vision with their vision of you with them. God, I hope that makes sense. I'm trying to keep up with the storyline as I feel it unfolding. So this is, to me, is very encouraging, because this is happening at a very deep gut, heart, soul level, which is in some ways the best way it can happen. So it's like whatever is inspiring you guys to go forward and consider things in terms of an adventure, no matter how scary or weird or unknown in terms of uncharted horizons, it's actually in some ways some kind of big turn on for you, and it makes you feel very, very rich and inspired and inspiring. And it's almost like the more I do this, the more I want to do this. This is like fuel. Like when you see, Cancer, the reciprocal nod and the wink coming to you from a significant other who's like, wow, you know, this could actually work. We must be doing something right somewhere. Then that's a huge turn on for you. That fuels your own passion, your own sense of mission, your own sense of inspiration for yourself. But that has like a multiplier effect, because that permeates the whole relationship. No matter how challenging or tough it might get later on in the story, this is adding tremendous, what I feel, tremendously rich fuel to your new journey, okay? And we have to allow for new journeys in here as well because of the huge Uranus in Taurus ingress recently. That's working very harmoniously with all the earth energy over in Capricorn with Pluto and Saturn, by the way. So I'm personally not freaking out about it. It's serious heavy duty earth energy, but that's actually very comfortable for you, Cancer. It might be very weird and wonderful, exciting, highly unpredictable, but it's still ultimately for your benefit. And you deep down in your guts and soul, I have a feeling that you're sensing it. Let's have a look deep in the other. Oh, whoa. Look at that. It's very rare that I would do something really cheesy like that, but it's very hard to ignore the imagery here. Wouldn't you agree? Look at that. Isn't that cute? That's adorable. To me, this is an indication that you, at some level, are deeply connected with a significant other at a very deep soul level where it's literally at this degree of integrity. Like literally, like even though you might be paupers, or you might be some, like, you know, you might be teenagers, or you might be seniors, or maybe you're not an official couple, or maybe you are in a situation, either one of you, that is highly unconventional and perhaps stretched and stressed relative to modern conventions. Deep down, what's going on is something really juicy. Again, forget the genders, but it's hard not to notice like the sense of compatibility here, where I feel that your divine inspiration here is also triggering their sense of magnificence in themselves and making them feel as though they are highly appreciated, highly regarded, highly understood, highly respected in their own integrity, almost like being a match made in heaven. Now, I don't know if it's your actual reality in the day-to-day stuff, but somewhere deep at the soul level, I see a profound sense of compatibility with you guys. Who knows where this is going to end up? Let's have a look deep down in the relationship itself. Okay. So to me, my feeling is that this whole relationship is a little bit above and beyond what I would call normal. There's something kind of magical happening here where you somehow or other you guys are sensing it in a very rudimentary, traditional, three-dimensional way, like person to person, but deep down there's something really, really cool and substantial going on here with you. And it's at the point where it's almost like both parties look at each other and realize it isn't like, you know how Tarot Illumination we do this sometimes. I have that little song, I am guided, I am protected, I am guided, I am protected. And then we have the other party, but basically doing the same thing. Well, guess what? I am guided, I am protected, I am guided, I am protected too. And that's really cool. And then you realize, it's almost like, oh my God. Do you realize? Guess what that means? Holy bleep. Do you know what that means? I'm like, well, I don't know. What are you talking about? Well, don't you see it? Don't you get it? Please explain. Okay. See if I can get to the point here. We are guided, we are protected, we are guided, we are protected. You see? See what I'm getting at? Is that when you have the ability, I'm going to go back to the chart here a minute, when you have the ability to comprehend your relationship from the broader perspective, you could actually be living inside this crucible, this structure, this thing called a relationship, where you get to see it in its full magnificence and all its horrors and all its glory. Because all of us have that, you know, to some extent or another. There's always some black holes in a relationship, and there's always some amazing, you know, galaxies of beautiful energy in relationship. And we oscillate between the two. If you don't, and you are, let's say, what's the word? The word, it's like self-medicating, but you are putting dampers on the relationship in order to avoid the sense of shock upheavals, random shifts and changes, then it's like you're forcing the relationship to get back into this area where you're flatlining it and you're living through, you're going through the motions of relationship. You're playing roles, you're acting. But in this spread here, my story feels like you're actually living it. You're totally living it, and you're realizing like, wow, the relationship, we are guided, we are protected. We don't know what that means because we're on this journey together, but I see that you respect me, I see that you respect me, and in a very equal, very, very well balanced way, where we are seriously enjoying the benefits of kindness and generosity in the relationship, from you to the other and from the other to you. And it's evident, it's physically evident. You've got pentacles here, okay? So this is very beautiful. To me, this is very beautiful. What is this fostering in some way? Look at that! Okay, so with the Ace of Swords, this is a card of sacred opportunity. It wouldn't be here unless you guys have earned it. So my feeling is that for you, Cancerians, this is very inspiring because it takes you onto new horizons, new journeys, new wisdom, new understanding. My feeling is to do with, I'm gonna have to, I'm sorry, I didn't want to do this, but I'm gonna do it. I think it's something to do with Jupiter and Sagittarius over here in your house of health and daily practices, where you're starting to see the benefits of doing the work, the chores, the tasks, the refining, the cleansing, the purifying, the laborious efforts that a lot of people don't want to do in a love and relationship. They just want the benefits of relationship, but they don't want to do the work. My feeling is that you guys are willing to do the work, and you're seeing the goodness and the results of doing the work, and you see it as a new opportunity, new awareness, new understandings, new horizons unfolding for you together, okay, on a sort of epic journey. It might be in very, very modest ways. If you're living in a very modest situation, you can still have an epic journey. Your whole relationship can still be an epic journey. Even if you're doing it under the covers in an exciting way, like little kids do, with flashlights under the covers and telling crazy stories. But you can do it as seniors or married couples with kids. You can actually see this from an energy of very, very youthful and vital and very inspiring and new horizons. I see expanding horizons, and I think it works very harmoniously with the whole thing here. So I feel it's like I'm leaving you with one of those like movies that it's like a cliffhanger. So this is building up, and things are going to become more interesting down the road. So I see this whole reading here in March, and March is a very pivotal month, by the way, for everybody. Please check out the Astrodoodles. This is kind of like a gateway month, and the doors are opening for you here, and kerblam, there is the opportunity, insight, wisdom, seeing the world, your life, yourself, your other, your relationship, your whole life around you from much bigger, broader horizons, greater wisdom, greater understanding, like you would do if you were that Jupiter energy from big, big, big and way high, and then coming down to earth here in the earthly experience of something in some ways very pure, very simple, and very real, and kind of beautiful, spiritually like a very divinely blessed thing here. That's what I'm sensing. Okay, I don't want to spoil it by saying anything more. You can completely reinterpret this however you want. I'm going to leave this over here for your edification, and we'll just go for it. Thank you so much. I'm going to close this down now, and thank you for everyone who was here. I didn't see anything in the chat. I don't know why. We've had problems with the chat sometimes not showing up at all. So I apologize. I can't communicate with any of you in that way right now. I think the settings are just fine here, but I don't know what to tell you. So thank you so much. I'm going to wrap this up, and anybody who wants to, you're welcome to join me, because I'm going to be diving in just like we do on Sunday Night Lives and Saturday Night Lives. I'm going to be diving in to the next report. Okay? Thank you so much. Please make the best of this. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. Oh yeah, and all that stuff. Hold on. Wait a minute. Don't go. And don't forget all that stuff, okay? Don't forget all this stuff. Very, very important. Very, very, very important. Very important. It's all important. Yeah, there we go. Bye-bye.